Group L, and that's what it was all about. Croatia, third in Qatar, second in Moscow. They're through as well. And Ghana are through too. Croatia beat Ghana by 2-1 in Philadelphia. So the top three all qualify from Group L. Let's hear from Thomas Tuchel then. Here he is with Gabriel Clark.
Thomas, England top of the group. How do you sum up today's performance?
Yeah, we did what was needed. It was what we expected, a tough match against a physical opponent. Difficult to score. We were the only team to create this amount of chances and score twice against them. We were very aggressive. We had to be very careful with the counterattacks because they're strong. We did well overall and deserved to win, but it was a hard piece of work.
You saw the role he played in both goals. How do you sum up Jude Bellingham's performance today?
Good performance again. We're happy that he's in this kind of shape, but everyone did what they needed to do. Jude was a big part of it.
Yeah, a moment of history as well today. Harry Kane is now England's record goal scorer at World Cups.
Yeah, good. And it's not the end.
It isn't the end. What is there to build on? Maybe the last 20 minutes?
No, there's more to build on. You have to get so many details right, and it's an aggressive approach that we take, and then to defend the one-on-ones. If you're like close to the pitch, you see it, and that's what it is. But the tournament starts again now in knockout. Now we collect our strengths and collect our energy, and we build on what we have: the team spirit, fighting spirit, the belief. And we will step up. The bigger the games get, the bigger we will get.
What does this mean today as well for those players making their first appearance at a World Cup? A first start like Morgan Rogers, for instance.
Yeah, good. And I'm happy that Ollie is on the pitch finally, and Jordan Henderson. They deserve so much more that they deserve. They are key players in their clubs. Get difficult decisions from me. That's what they signed up for. We're here for a bigger goal. And everyone buys into that.
The final point, the next game in just 4 days' time, DR Congo or Senegal looks likely. How's the fitness of players? Quansah went off, Saka, Rice?
Saka's not a problem. Declan had the chance to take him completely off the match, to not concede a second yellow, which helps us a lot. Jarrell, I don't know, had to go off injured, so we need to see, but 3 days and then next match in 4 days is not a problem. We love that and we're good at that.
Thanks for joining us.
Can hear the England fans in good voice behind Thomas Tuchel. Let's just tidy up that housekeeping then. The result from Philadelphia means that I'm afraid Scotland are definitely out of the World Cup, so they will not advance to the knockout stages. England win Group L, so as Gabriel said, their next game is on Wednesday in Atlanta, round of 32, probably against Senegal or DR Congo. That is still to be confirmed. Roy, you know what they say, you can't win the World Cup in the group stage, you can only lose it by going out. So England have won the group. There's obviously a lot of room for improvement, but what would you say overall?
Yeah, they were always favourites to top the group. Obviously they had an outstanding first game, difficult second game. It wasn't pretty today, far from it, but eventually we talk about tactics and systems. Their top players eventually turned up the second half with Bellingham and Kane, and they're huge players and that's what you want in these tight games. I spoke about the opposition being dangerous, but they were, I thought, very, very poor. So we could be really critical of England if they didn't get the job done, but they did. The top lads turned up, and they move on to tougher games.
And that's the bottom line, isn't it, Gary? Much as we can talk about tactics and systems and low blocks or whatever, your very best players do it when they need to. You've got every chance of winning. And Jude Bellingham, would you say by a distance is England's best player at the moment?
Absolutely. He's the one player that looks like he's in form. He's the one player that looks like he's fresh. He's sharp, he's lively, he's playing at the level that you would expect. Look, Mark, I think that what these players have set a standard of getting to finals and semi-finals over the last few years. This is the goal from Jude. Look, I just know from being a defender in that position, you know, you're pressing against the forward, you're looking to do enough to disrupt him, to put him off. How Jude keeps control, his eye on the ball, and that technique to finish it there whilst he's under extreme pressure is absolutely brilliant. Brilliant finish that, it really is.
Ian, I can't believe we ever had a conversation about whether Jude Bellingham was going to start in this team. He's, along with Harry Kane, he's the first name on the team sheet, isn't he? If England are going to do something serious here.
Yeah, I can't understand it. I've always backed him and what he's done, and that's going off of what I've seen him do and what we've seen him do and what he's capable of doing, his confidence, the fact that he's got a lot of confidence. People kind of like interpretators as arrogance for him, but like he's somebody that when you watch him, whoever he's playing against, I remember watching him against New Zealand, watching him against Costa Rica, he's exactly the same. He's going for it, he wants to do the best he can, he wants to put the team on his shoulders and run with it, and he relishes it. You could see him in that first half.
Yeah,
second half.
Even the second half, he showed his quality, but his first half, I think he showed a really good example in terms of walk rate, winning the ball, doing the hard yards, and that does lift other players.
Arrogance is good on the pitch, isn't it, Roy? Arrogance says, I believe in myself and you're all going to follow me because I'm at the top of my game.
Arrogance, confidence, especially... No, well, especially...
Whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it, but especially if you back it up.
Yeah.
He backs it up, so you can't be critical of him.
The rest of them are going to have to get to his form and his level quite quickly, Mark. Just in Thomas Tuchel's interview there, he said, we will step up the bigger the games. They're going to have to. I don't think he'll be walking off that pitch tonight looking at the analysis with his coaching staff and thinking that everything's perfect right now. We've got to get together in the next 4 days. We've got to get Declan Rice back in the team. We've got to get that back four more solid. It looked like they cut through us a few times. They didn't have the quality to punish us, but we're going to have to step up.
Well, he said that, Gary, but to believe him, you know, the manager, because as much as there's been pluses from some of their star lads today, he's done a lot of chopping and changing. I still don't think he has a clue what his best 11 is. And that's not good.
Yeah.
No, you're probably right with the wide players, aren't you?
Defensively, he's chopping and changing.
Let's hear from Jude Bellingham, actually really important. Here he is with Gabriel.
Well, thanks for running back a long run. How do you sum it up? Group 1, job done today in terms of the win.
Yeah, first job achieved. You know, that we came here to do it in sections. We got through the pre-camp games really well, and now, you know, we achieved our first objective, which was to get through the group and top it as well.
What was said at half-time?
You're doing well, keep going, a little bit more, another gear. Nothing's crazy. We knew what level we were at. We know what level we want to achieve, and we did it in the second half.
The manager says that you'll see a better England in the knockout stage.
We'll see, hopefully. I think every day we've got to try and improve. Every game we've got to improve, and yeah, it's up to us to do that.
What pleased you most today? The goal or the assist?
The assist. I think it was just a good culmination of play, and to give it to Harry again, who just continues to raise his level, is incredible.
Well, you know that assist also means history. Harry Kane, now England's record goal scorer at World Cups.
It's everything he deserves, you know what I mean? You see the effort that he puts in as a captain, you see how he leads us, his quality speaks for itself, he's the best.
I think they're playing your song.
I think so, I better go.
Well done.
Thank you.
No doubt the Wonderwall has replaced Sweet Caroline as the England anthem for this World Cup. Let's have a look at Harry Kane's 11th goal in the World Cup, beating Gary Lineker's record. You would love to have been on the end of a cross like this, Ian, right, wouldn't you, from Jude Bellingham?
Yeah, well, it was brilliant from Jude again. You know, it's the best bit of wing play in the game, to be honest. Great run. But then it's the composure of moving the defender. You know, and then once he got in it onto his weaker foot, and just a lovely ball into the box. It's just invited Harry. Harry's run's always going to be great, you know, even Harry coming off of the back of him. But it's his run here. You know, that's the run. And then once he's got there, it's the composure. We haven't seen this all day. It's come in,
right,
and then brilliant. And then Harry's run from the back of him. You're not going to stop Harry Kane with a ball that's floated in like that.
Wrighty's point is a great one there. That's the best bit of wing play we've seen all day in terms of the composure in the wide area, playing a crossing that you can actually get on the end of.
And the worry is it wasn't from one of the wingers.
So I think that's the thing that, you know, Marcus or Madueke or Saka, whoever plays there, just drifting the crosses in nicely so that you can get on the end of them, people can time their runs. They're whacking them across at times, and you just don't know where they're going to be.
You know the thing with it is, Gal, like you mentioned it, it's almost like he's trying to play one of the wingers, a couple into form. But none of them up to this point, whether it's Gordon, whether it's Marcus, whether it's Saka, whether it's Madueke, who's done a little bit better than the rest of them, none of them has kicked in, really. And we're talking about a team and a game that's reliant on wingers, whether we're going to play if we're playing to transition or we're going to play out of a deep. But whatever it is, the wingers are not doing enough for us to really punish teams.
That is going to be a worry. When Thomas Tuchel gets his bit of A4 out and goes, right, who are my wide men on Wednesday? That's not a straightforward decision for him, is it?
And not just the wide players, there's some other positions. But yeah, the onus is on the attacking players. I've said it many times before. Your job is to go out and perform where the next game the manager can't leave you out. But there's too many England players at this moment in time not doing enough. We talk about getting the trust of the manager. There's too many question marks, particularly about the four wide players where you're going, it's a toss of a coin, and that's not good. You want to be able to go, he's our main man, like Bellingham and Kane always do, week in, week out. But these lads don't do it.
The great thing about that cross was he didn't actually... You thought for a second when he chopped back inside, he's left himself no room. Didn't actually beat the man, did he? Because he didn't need to beat the man because the cross is whipped in so well.
No, what I find sometimes with the wide players that they've got, that they're actually running so fast with the ball that they haven't got time to be able to slow themselves down to get their head up to be able to see what's happening. Sometimes you watch the likes of Foden and Palmer, I'm not saying they should be here, but they do move forward with the ball with their heads up so they can play it at any point. When you watch Marcus play maybe, or Anthony Gordon, or maybe Madueke, they're running so fast to get past players, it's impossible for them to be able to adjust their moment and just be able to guide a crossing.
OK, let's take a break. England have won Group L. They're